MIDI is gonna come from Waymaker. And let's hit play. Yeah! Woo! Oh, stop it. That's insane, bro. Oh my God. You know, I don't know who needs to hear this, but your synths, your tools, your effects, they don't matter. It's the musician behind the music. That's who makes the magic happen. You know, I was talking about this on the Discord the other day, and I get email all the time. What's the best synthesizer? Is it Hive? Is it Pigments? Is it Serum 2? And the truth is, it really doesn't matter. It's the musician, and that's you behind the music, and that's who's making the magic. So, you know, really, it could be any DAW, it could be any synthesizer. It's up to you, right? But the music, that's what matters. So focus on the music first and let the rest follow. So in today's video, we're gonna work on an ambient track from scratch, not worrying about too much about the technicality, about the tools that we're using, whatever. Let's just make something happen. And yeah, we'll have some fun while we do that, all right? So I'm playing in 106 beats per minute. I'll be playing an F sharp minor here. And yeah, feel free to follow along with any other DAW or any other synthesizers of your choice. All right, so as you can see, I'm gonna be using Pigments here. Let's go ahead and create a nice atmospheric drone / soundscape pad to start off our track, and then we'll see where we can go from there. All right, so I'm gonna adjust my amp envelope down here on the bottom left in the orange column. I'll go ahead and use maybe 4 seconds of attack, 4 seconds of decay, lower down the sustain, up the release here, and adjust my attack curve. I'll go ahead and change it from basic waveforms to a chromatic 3 wavetable. You can use any wavetable here. It can be from the factory library. No worries. I'll use chromatic 3 table number 22 because I really like that one these days. And I'll move the position to somewhere around the middle. And then as you can hear, when I play some keys, if I move the position, I get some nice high end here on the top. Yeah, love that. So how can we exploit that? Well, we can use an LFO to kind of move in that direction in a unipolar fashion. I'll show you what I mean here. So what we're gonna do is take the LFO number 1, and we'll change the retrick source to free running, and we'll change the rate from hertz to straight only, and we'll leave it at 2/1. And we'll drag LFO1 over to the position slider right here, and we'll change the polarity, this is very important, to unipolar. That's just the plus sign, not the plus minus. So as you can hear now we have a unipolar LFO. Yeah, it's traveling back and forth. I like that. Lots of voices in unison here. Lower down the detune, lower down the stereo spread. And we're off and running, all right? So let's find our sweet spot with our filter. I mean, that's really kind of key here. So right now, filter is all the way open. We'll drag it down to around 3,000. Oh yeah, very nice. We can use that same LFO here on the FM, which is the frequency / ring mod section, all right? Let's use that LFO here. If you want, you can put some aftertouch on your filter, cutoff. So when you press down, yeah, get a little filter action. That's cool. Come over to the utility engine. We'll use a sub oscillator here, and we'll put it as a triangle, lower down the filter amount. Yeah, this is basically how I work. When I just start off and want to create a pad, I'm doing moves like this, right? So like I said, it could be any synthesizer, it could be Vital, it could be Hive, it could be Serum 2. Same process, all right? So this sounds good to me. I like where this is going. Let's go ahead and add another engine here. We'll add the modal engine, and we're gonna go ahead and change it from friction to granular, and we'll change it from the, what is it, it's a sample to, I don't know, let's go harmonic. How's that? And we'll up the volume here. There we go, change the rate. Maybe we'll put this one through filter 2. Oh yeah. Ooh, we can modulate that. We can use that LFO and modulate the filter mix from filter 1 to filter 2. And filter 2 is empty right now, but check this out. There we go. So now we're getting a nice balance there. We can also affect the warp mode here with that same LFO. Oh yeah. I like that. Oh yeah, that's gonna give some nice harmonics. We'll start adding some effects. I love it. And finally, let's add that same LFO over here to the cutoff here. Oh yeah. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, we're coming over to the effects here. Let's add a multi-band compressor. Very nice, very nice. And you can feel free to use a stock delay here and reverb. I'm gonna use custom effects, so again, your mileage may vary. I'm using a dual dotted eighth note delay here. This is long talked about on my channel. You can see 100% mix. This is on a send effect, and it's dual dotted eighth note. I love Valhalla delay. And of course, I'm using the FabFilter Pro R2 as my reverb source. So I'm gonna up the amount here in send A and send E here, and yeah. Hear what that sounds like. Oh yeah. Very nice, very nice. I love that. I love that move that we made on the modal engine. Using an LFO on the warp quantized. That's very important. So the Q must be lit up here for it to do that effect. Oh, it's gorgeous. Change the range here. Oh yeah, wow. Woo! Oh, very nice, very nice, very nice. You can play with that if you want. I'm gonna leave it as is. I'm happy with that. All right, so let's go ahead and lay down some notes here. We're off and running. Length, 16 bars. Oh yeah. Again, I'm playing an F sharp minor. All right, we'll start here. We'll go 1 bar. There we go. Landed some notes here. There we go. Perfect. All right. Excellent. So this is just our foundation. Nice solid foundation there. You get the fold button. I'll change the color so you guys can see this. I love this chord coming up here. This is a sus2 chord. Love this one. Oh yeah. Very nice, very nice. All right, so like I said, this could have been any synthesizer, right? It could have been Serum 2, it could have been Hive, it could have been Vital. Like, you know, I know I did little like detail things like using the modal engine and all that, but like, it's your intention. So let your intention guide the track itself, okay? It's very important. Let's continue. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is rename this. Let's rename this Atmos Bass. And I'll go ahead and lay down a bass sound right now. We'll use Pigments again. And I think that's kind of, you know, if you can get really comfortable with one single synthesizer, it might as well be Pigments, you know? Let's change this to a sawtooth. We'll lower down the cutoff here to around 350 hertz. Add some voices to unison. Lower down the stereo spread. And we're gonna play a nice low note. Nice low F sharp note. Let's see how this sounds. Oh yeah. I like that. I like that. Now, what was key here was the detune in the unison, lowering down the stereo spread so we don't get any weird phasing, and then the voices here. So again, it's just basically, you know, very simple, right? We'll come over to the random section. We'll put on random, smooth it all the way out, and we'll lower down the rate here to around 2/1. Change the polarity to unipolar, and change the retrick source to free running. All right, and we will go ahead and adjust our cutoff filter. All right, very good. Add some resonance here. You know, it's basic, no pun intended, moves like this that really do set that solid foundation. Again, you can do some FM here maybe. Oh yeah, you hear that? That's very nice. Let's use an LFO for that. Very subtle, very subtle. I want to make that clear. We should probably stick here to the low end somehow. So we'll go straight only, 4/1. There we go. Yeah, subtle movements with your sound design. That makes all the difference. So we got our filter moving. We're just using a simple sawtooth here. Final touches, maybe you could add another wavetable. Or even the harmonic engine, that's always good. So we'll change the depth here. We can use that same random on the depth over the periodic section. Yep, that's nice. Love that. Adjust the depth of taste. There we go. Change the note on you. Oh yeah, it's very signs of life, isn't it? Oh yeah, oh yeah. Loving it. I have too much fun. All right, let's add a secondary envelope before we leave this, and we'll add it to the cutoff itself. Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and plug those 3 notes in. So let's change the loop length to 8 bars here. So we'll plug in number 8. And yeah, let's go ahead and find that note. That's down here, and that's got to be a D1. There we go. Plug this in with a pencil tool to B0. Okay. So extend these out 2 bars each. And then we'll go down to F sharp, number 0. There we go. And we'll go ahead and restart the entire scene. Oh yeah. Very nice. Excellent. So you can hear that there's like real subtle organic movement down there. That totally works for me. I like it. So like I said, this could have been Vital, could have been Serum, whatever. just let the music happen. Let the magic come to you. It's all good. Oh, this bass. All right. Now, let's go ahead and turn on this pad a little bit. What I like to do now is kind of introduce some sequencing to kind of get my mind, warmed up to the idea that something else is out there. So what I'll do is, there's a lot of talk recently, of course, with Waymaker coming through, but I'm just going to go with the old standby, the old classic, because why not? I mean, whatever sequence you got, you could also plug it in by hand if you want. I'll get myself set up for success, and then we'll go into the actual sound design part of it. So we're playing in F sharp minor, so let's go ahead. F sharp number 3, natural minor. 8 steps. Again, this is stepic if you weren't aware. Like I've used this on so many tutorials. Still works really well for all my sequencing needs. All right, I'm happy with that. We can also randomize the direction here of this sequence. And we'll go 1/8 note length. Okay, cool. Nothing out of the ordinary here. I like it though. Let's go ahead and turn off stepping for now. I'm gonna grab a synthesizer. Let's go with Vital here. Why not? Let's go with Vital, okay? So we're gonna turn off stepping and we're gonna go with Vital. I think Vital is a great synthesizer still. I still love it. I got my Anomaly 4 skin here. I mean, it's just so solid, right? So we'll change filter 1 to 24. We'll lower it down a little bit and take the sustain out of envelope number 1. Lower down the decay here. Take the sustain out of envelope number 2. Lower that down to around ½ a second. And we'll drag that over to the cutoff filter. Very nice. And what we'll do here is we'll take LFO1, put it in sync mode. Make the tempo 4/1. We'll drag that over to the LFO as well. And finally, we'll add a second oscillator. Maybe we'll add another anomaly wavetable here. Let's go with anomaly table number 36. And we'll make sure that that's going through filter 1, very important, because otherwise it's going through filter 2 by default. And what we'll do is we'll use a random and put it in sync mode, and then make it say 2/1 and drag it over to the position slider. So it's gonna randomly scan through that wavetable, right? last step is we'll take velocity and put that onto the cutoff over here, lower down its amount. We'll also change the phase or the distortion amount here. And we'll use velocity to cover that. And that's FM coming from oscillator 2. So that's going to give us some nice bright moments whenever the velocity gets really strong. And I think that's good. I'm happy with that. All right, cool. So again, I'm using my dual dotted eighth note delay here. Make sure that you're using a dotted eighth note of some kind on a send effect or an insert effect, if you will. I'll up the amount here. And yeah, let's go ahead and fire up Stepic and see how we did here. Oh yeah. Very nice, very nice. So again, velocity is pinging both the filter, the FM amount here on the spectral distortion. I like it a lot. So you can hear that like this could have been anything. It could have been Pigments, this could have been Hive, this could have been Serum 2. I chose Vital just to kind of make an example of out of a free synthesizer. It's not the tools. Obviously, it's the musician. It's you. You're the one, right? You're the one who's in the driver's seat. You got all the control here. So, again, making conscious choices and decisions to get to the desired result. Okay, I'm happy with that. I like it. So let's go ahead and we'll bounce out, say, 4 bars here. I'll pull this over to my track. Very nice. We can turn off Stepic here and fire up the whole scene. Oh yeah. Adjust our filter position, dial that in. Sounds really good. I like it, I like it. All right, so now where do we go from here, right? This is the other question. Like, what's the next level, okay? We got our sequence in, got our bass in, got our pad in. I want to put some drums in here, all right? Let's go ahead and just rename this sequence 1. And let's go ahead and put some percussion in here. I've got some, drum racks that I've already made. Your mileage may vary. You may use something like battery or even just regular samples. Let's go Science Deep Kicks 2024. And what I like to do is I'll make a MIDI clip, okay? I'll make a 2-bar MIDI clip and I'll pick out a kick. So I'll just go ahead and run through them, right? I kind of like that one. So I'll go with that and I'm gonna just spray kicks down everywhere except the 1-2 and the 1-4. And that's because that's where my snare is gonna go, right? So I'll just go ahead and lay down some kicks here. Couldn't have done really good, couldn't have not. We'll see where some of these go. So let's go ahead and adjust our gain here, put this through the drum bus, and we'll rename this kick, okay? And then we're gonna put some snares down on those missing hits. Like I said, it's gonna be on the 1-2 or the 1-4. It's also gonna be on the 2-2 and the 2-4, all right? So again, another MIDI clip here. It's gonna be on the 1-2 and the 1-4, all right? That's cool. And we'll go ahead and pitch this up. Let's go ahead and do the controls, pitch it up. Excellent, lower down its mount here. And let's see how we did. All right, we'll restart the whole scene. 5, 6, 7, 8. Very nice. I like it, I like it. Now one cool thing you could do is instead of just having it, straight snare, I'll go ahead and get out of the way so you guys can see this. You can duplicate it, so we'll make double the length here. You can do this a bunch of different ways. There's obviously shortcuts. Okay, we'll duplicate this. And then you can go in here and add some sort of flam, like, maybe make some duplicated snares here. Right? And then take the velocity, lower down. Yeah, maybe this one double. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Obviously, another trick to do would be using automaton. Use automaton here. If you don't know what automaton is, or automaton for you purists. Automaton is an audio damage plugin. Love it, use it a lot. Gives it some extra, you know, yeah, something like that. I like that. Very nice, very nice. Rename this snare. Now let's revisit our kicks here. They don't all have to be like 4 on the floor, like 100. So let's just go lower some of these down. Put some ghost kicks in here, meaning lowering the velocity to the point where there we go. I like that, I like that. So a little bit of variation goes a long way. You kind of want to mix it up a little bit. You don't want to have all your kicks slamming all, because you know a drummer is not going to hit the kick drum the same, you know, velocity every single time. We'll move this one over here. That's right. That's what I like. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Let's put in some glitch percussion. Again, going back to my drum racks. Gonna dig into my bag here. I got some hats here that I like to use. Again, just letting it flow. Like not thinking too much about, oh, like I've got to be doing this and science has said I got to be doing that. No. Like just let it flow. Be inspired. You can do this. So as you can see, I'm just spraying here. Just spraying some hi-hats down. Okay. Control 1 and 2 or command 1 and 2. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Back out. Let's see what this sounds like. I like it, I like it. Now, let's go and add a instance of Replicant 3 here. Haven't used that one in a while. If you guys don't know what Replicant 3 is, this is a plugin from Audio Damage as well. It's a nice alternative to Automaton if you guys can't get it to work on your machine. Again, you can see here that the effector is being, you know, modulated here. The stutter is also working. The grid sequencer kind of does the work here. Love that. You can also take some of these modulation destinations and use LFOs here. You know, that's cool. You can change this sequence divisions, filter. I mean, all this stuff is so powerful. Like, if you really got into it, like, this is where it's at. Okay? Real stuff. Oh yeah. Adjust the effectors. All with LFOs. It can get crazy, y'all. It can get crazy. Anyway, that sounds good on its own. I'm happy with that. Rename this glitch. All right, now, as a final touch here, I think what I want to do is I want to add one more additional sequence to really take this thing over the top, all right? So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to put this through the drum bus here. And let's add one more sequence, because we kind of got, our first sequence is kind of like basic, but I really want to add something that's kind of like, oh my God, like just going all over the place, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Final step here. I'm gonna use a synthesizer. Let's go back to Pigments, all right? Let's go back to Pigments. Again, keeping it simple with this one, you guys. Keeping it really basic, really simple. Let's go ahead and we'll use a sawtooth here. And we're gonna use a second sample. It'll be a wavetable, and we'll use something from Chromatic. Let's go Chromatic 3, table number 2. How about that? Oh yeah, perfect, perfect. And what we'll do is we're just gonna make a simple pluck, right? And then we're really gonna go crazy and try to get some good sequence here. So let's go ahead and we'll go 1 second on the envelope. This is the amp envelope down here. Half second for the sort of, I call the filter envelope, right? And we'll drag envelope 2 over to the cutoff here, okay? And we'll add an LFO and put it as free running, okay? And we'll make that unipolar. Change the rate to straight only. And we'll make that 4/1 and drag it over to the cutoff, okay? We'll also use that same LFO on the position. So now our wavetable is opening up and going back and forth like this. And I'm happy with that. That's cool. I have no idea how this is gonna sound, but since both wavetable 1 and 2 are both going through filter 1, I think we're set. That's cool. All right, let's grab an instance of Waymaker. I just showed this on the channel the other day. It is absolutely no joke. It is so much fun. So we're playing an F sharp minor. That's very key. So let's go ahead and grab Waymaker here. I'll go ahead and grab it out of my sequencers. Waymaker. All right, and we're gonna connect to MIDI, and let's change the scale to F sharp minor. All right, and that's looking good. All right, we'll click into the sequence, and let's go 16th notes. Okay, and then now that it's generating MIDI, okay, we're gonna add another sequencer, and let's add a morph over here. All right, that's cool. And we'll go for 2 changes every 2 loops. And we'll also change the rate to 16 notes. All right, great. And then we'll add one more. We'll add a weight here, and we'll go 8th notes. Let's go 8th notes. There we go. All right, great. So I'm happy with that. I've got 3 different types of sequences here. This can be obviously adjusted. Let's add an octave. Yeah, this will be fun. This will be so much fun. Oh my God. All right, and the morph is gonna morph. Oh my God, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be totally crazy. All right, so I've got my MIDI all set up. All I've gotta do, I'm gonna make sure that I have some effects here. Let's add some dotted 8th note delay. And MIDI is gonna come, let's rename this track over here, Waymaker, okay? And yeah, final step here. MIDI is gonna come from Waymaker, and let's hit play. Yeah! Woo! Oh, stop it. That's insane, bro. Oh my God. Oh, that's nuts. Dude, Waymaker's killing it. Oh my God. And you know, there's like all kinds of stuff that you could do here. Like with the generate, like, oh my God. We can add the stages, we can add the velocity here. Oh, that's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Waymaker just killing it, dude. It's not just for slow sequences, you can do it on fast stuff. Oh, that is just beyond cosmic. And look at Pigments, just working it. I love it, oh my God. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Honestly, when I'm working and I'm making music, this is exactly what I'm doing. So y'all follow along this far. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. If you want more tutorials like this, I have a really good Patreon channel. I go super hard on there. Guys who have been members for years, they know how hard I go on Patreon. So if you really want more tutorials, check out my Patreon. The link is down below in the description. But I'll be back again soon on this channel with more videos just like this one. You guys have been great. In the meantime, have fun. Don't worry about the tools. Just let the magic happen, y'all. Take good care, and as always, keep your heads in the clouds and your feet planted firmly on the ground. I'm Chris from Signs of Life, and I'll see you guys in the next video.